Hi guys, here we are looking at the localization functionality within Kontent.ai. So as you can see, I'm inside the CMS, I'm in the project settings, in the localization section, and here we can see some languages that have previously been created. So we've got some active languages, English, French, Norwegian, Spanish, and we've got some language that have been since deactivated. We can easily create a new language by clicking on the create new language button here, and we could go ahead and create that new language there. Let's look at what it looks like when creating content when there are multiple languages available. So I'll go into the content and assets section of the CMS, and what I'll do is create a new page. As you can see, my default here is set to English. I'll go create new, make a page, and let's create a page with a bit of content. So for this page, I'll create interesting facts, and then I'll go ahead and add some content in there. There we go. And if we go back into content and assets, you can see our interesting facts page here. I'll just filter that out so we can see only that page there. And if I were to go to French, for example, so here are our active language variants. If I go to French, we can see it exists, but it has not been translated. And if I go into that, it should be blank. There we go. So what we can do is we can now populate it with some French content. So I just happen to have some. So French title, and I've translated this earlier. So here are our interesting facts. And now we have our French variant. So French and English, there we go. We can switch between those two. And if we go to French there it is. If I choose Spanish, for example, you can see there it exists, but it hasn't been translated, as was with the French one earlier. Now I may not have any Spanish translated content yet. So what I can do is I can copy from another language. So I can copy from English, and that will populate that content item for me. So I will have a Spanish variant, and why not? I can also go Norwegian, and I can copy from that language too. So from English, and now we've got all of our variants populated. Now, when we're dealing with CMS users, we may want to limit by localization what language variant a CMS user has access to. So that's quite easy to do. If we go into project settings and we go into users, here's a user that I have, and if I go into that user account, I can specify a specific language that they only have access to. So I can say this user will only be able to see French. As you can see, Kontent.ai makes localization quite simple to manage. We can easily create new languages, we can easily create content language variants, and the CMS allows us to control localization-based access down to the individual user accounts.